Hi you guys, it's Lynnea with a video for ThermOWeb, and this week we are collaborating with the team at Pink Main to use both ThermOWeb products and Pink Main products together on our projects. I absolutely love Pink Main products. I am on their design team as well, so I was so happy about this collaboration. The Pink Main stamps are so adorable, and so I thought that I would use their new Fa La Llama stamps and dies, and I colored up the llama to match some of the new Deco foil flock transfer sheet colors. I used teal waters and pink carnations as my color inspiration. To create my background for my card, I took some of the Easy Cut 6x6 adhesive sheets, and you guys know if you've watched my videos that I love this double-sided adhesive. I use it all the time for my cards, so I have just a whole pack of excess little strips, and I always set them aside so that I can create backgrounds just like this. So I took some of those strips and I have them cut down to 3 different sizes, and they're all kind of a little bit different. Some are like a 1/2 inch wide, some are a 1/4 inch, and then some are like an 1/8 of an inch. I didn't really measure exactly. I just kind of went with it and just took some of the strips that were about the same-ish width. I'm using some purple tape to hold down my cardstock onto my craft mat, and I'm just going to use the grid lines on my mat to line up these little strips of the iCraft Easy Cut adhesive sheets until I have my whole background full of these strips. I'll trim off the excess that's hanging off the sides with my scissors, and then when I turn this around, I'm going to burnish it really well with my bone folder. You want to really make sure that this adhesive transfers onto the cardstock. That way when you go to remove the release paper backing, you don't accidentally pull up the tape as well. So I started here pulling up the edges, and as I was doing that, my nails were kind of pulling up or kind of like crinkling the tape underneath, I guess. So I'm going to actually just come in with my little die cut tool here, and I will pick up every third release backing tape because my idea is to use the gold shattered glass Deco foil transfer sheets along with the 2 colors of the flock transfer sheets. So when you're adding foil, you want to go pretty side up into your adhesive. I'm going to use a carrier sheet. It's just a piece of computer paper folded in half, and I'll run this through my die cutting machine just to really press that foil into my adhesive. And then I'm going to remove this and check that out. Look how pretty that is. Now I'm going to repeat this exact same process with the Pink Carnations flock transfer sheet. Now for some reason, when I transferred this pink on, I think the foil was still a little tacky on top. So you're going to see when I bring this out from my die cutting machine, I did the same thing, except that you want to put the flock transfer sheets pretty side down into your adhesive. When I pull this off, you're going to see that normal pink carnation color on the bottom, but where the gold foil was, you get this kind of muted antique pink color. So I looked at that for a while, and I decided to just kind of keep going, go with it, and see how this goes. I didn't want any of the teal waters flock to transfer into the pink, so to just be safe, I decided to trim off little strips of this color of the flock transfer sheets. Now when you are cutting the flock with a paper trimmer, you want to cut pretty side down so that you're not going to shred all that pretty color. And then same thing here, I'm just going to pull up that release tape and I will add that teal waters flock face down into this. You'll have to excuse my crazy hair. My son and I were playing and he was doing my hair, so that's why it's so crazy. Now as I added my llamas on top, looking at it now it looks okay, but I just thought that it was too much pink. So I did something totally crazy and I covered up where I had messed up with some more of those strips of iCraft Easy Cut adhesive, and I ran it through my die cutting machine again with some foil, and just like that, I was so much more in love with this background. Now I did feel like at the bottom, it was heavy on those colors, and I wanted to have just a little bit more flock at the bottom. So I'm going to come in actually with some This is, I think, 1/8 inch double-sided tape from ThermOWeb and iCraft. So you could definitely use that instead of the Easy Cut adhesive sheets. I just happen to like the adhesive sheets because you can cut any width that you want. But for this little bit at the bottom here, this double-sided tape worked just as well. I'll add some of that gold shattered glass foil on top, and now I'm loving this background so much. To stamp a sentiment, I'm grabbing the Fa La Llama stamp set again from Pink and Main, and I'm going to stamp right on top of this wide strip of the Pink Carnations flock transfer sheet. You can definitely stamp and heat emboss and everything right onto flock just like you would paper. The only difference is that since there is a little bit more texture and grit to the flock, I did stamp this 3 times just to make sure I had even coverage. But check this out, I'll show you. It looks just like you stamped on paper, so you can definitely stamp on these flock transfer sheets too. I had already colored up my little llamas and some presents as well. I'm using iCraft 3D foam squares at the back, but because I'm gluing onto these flock transfer sheets, I'm also going to add just a couple little drops of the iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. This glue holds on really strong, even to textured surfaces, so that's why I'm using that. I'm going to add those little llamas and the presents onto the middle-ish of my card, and that is going to complete this fun foiled and flocked background, also featuring the Fa La Llama stamp set from Pink and Main. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You can head on over to the ThermOWeb blog for some more information about the products I used on this card. See you soon. Bye.